Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? You're getting me in all of my mom glory because it's a busy time right now, busy day, trying to catch up on everything at home. But I was feeling very, very guided to hop on here on my phone and send you guys all a message. So, we are all being guided to raise our consciousness right now, to heal old wounds. And I have been definitely going through some stuff, especially the full moon is in Cancer right now, and my moon is actually Cancer. So it has definitely been affecting me this week, but I think a lot of us are going back to old habits, are being made aware of things that we haven't healed yet. So there was a lot of things that I felt like I had healed, but really I had shoved down. And I know a lot of people do that. It's like, if I can just find a distraction, find a distraction from this thing that's hurting me and causing me pain. But really what that does is it just shoves it down. And a lot of us don't realize it. We think that we're getting through it. We think that we're getting over it, but really we're just shoving it down. So a lot of what I have been finding lately that I wanted to share with you guys, I've talked about this in my other videos, and that is The Power of Now. And that's the book that I've been reading it's taken me probably almost a month, I swear, to read this book because there's so much information in it, and I've just slowly been reading through pieces and pieces. And it's so crazy when I talk about when you connect to the universe and how signs are just there. And I tell you, I had a really bad day the other day and just really struggling, and I opened the book and all the answers that I needed were right there, and it was just so weird. It's not weird because it happens to me a lot, but it still feels kind of weird in a way. And that's something that a lot of us forget and don't realize, is that all of the answers are actually within each and every one of us. We have the ability to fix whatever it is that we're going through, to heal it. You literally just have to ask yourself. You literally just have to connect to yourself. And how you can do that is through meditation. Meditating is so amazing, and it has changed my life. It has made me realize, like, a lot of the thoughts that I have, I am able to observe them, be the outside viewer, because here's the deal. Before we come to this planet, we are soul, we are love, we are infinite greatness, we are perfect, and we come to earth and we inhabit these bodies, and we have our mind and our body, and so we come here perfect, but then we are changed by outside sources, like I've talked about, our parents, TV, like everything that's around us changes our perception of who we are. So we develop these thoughts, we develop these things, these beliefs in our mind, and we think that this is who we are. And between the ages of, I think it was 5 to 7, it might be newborn to 7, I can't remember, I was just reading this, we are in the brain waves of theta. Maybe you've heard this before. I had never heard this before. It's where we're constantly taking on information, and it allows us to take on so much information, but this becomes our major thought patterns. So as we get older, I'm now 32, and so a lot of my thought patterns are from my childhood. And so realizing where your thought patterns, like if you're struggling in a situation right now, finding the root of that thought pattern and really meditating about it, asking your higher self, asking the universe, asking your guides to help you figure out what this is. Don't ignore it. Don't drink it away. Don't eat it away. I like to do that. I like to eat sugar. I won't lie, I've been doing it. But the point is realizing that we're human. We're not perfect. We come from perfection. Our souls are perfect. So we come here in these bodies and these minds and we're like, I'm supposed to be perfect. You think that you're perfect. That's where that comes from. But we are in a body and we are in our mind. And our mind tries to take control of us because of the ego. The ego, and especially if you have had trauma in your childhood, to prevent yourself from pain, you have gone into your mind. Think about when you're in a moment of pain. You go into your mind and you disappear into the past, into the future. And this allows you to protect yourself from what is currently going on as a child. Well, then that becomes your pattern as you're an adult. You then constantly are going to the past, constantly going to the future, but then you're in worry, you're in fear, you're in whatever, instead of being in that present moment. So a lot of our pain comes from fictitious things that are in our mind that isn't even real. So, my son's outside the door. I'll be out in a minute, babe, okay? So, realizing that our thoughts are not who we are. We are more than our thoughts. And that becomes something kind of hard to realize in the moment, and that's what I've been having a hard time with, is actually applying that. Applying it is a whole nother story. You can know this, you can feel it, but when you're in that moment in your brain, your mind, your thoughts are attacking you is what it feels like. But realizing that those thoughts are not you. Realizing your triggers. We talked about this before. For me, my triggers have a lot to do with, like this week, something that I was going through is I am a mom and I have animals and I have kids, I have a husband, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. So I'm a caretaker of a lot of people, a lot of beings, and a lot of the time I put myself last. And that is because I'm busy. That's also a childhood trauma reaction, because if I do things for other people, then they will see the significance in me and make me feel good enough. So then realizing that I don't need those outside sources to make me feel good. I don't need someone to tell me that I'm good enough. I need to show myself that I am good enough. So practicing self-love. That's what I'm focusing on in my healing journey right now. Practicing self-love, recognizing my triggers, focusing on my thoughts in the moment, not having guilt, because that's what happened to me this week. I have all these things I do all the time, and I continuously am like bam, 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 and I do them. And I'm like, yeah, look at me. I'm a badass. Like, I can just keep doing this. And I try to keep up with my husband, because my husband is like, I don't know how he does it. He was in the military, and he is from this really like strict Louisiana family where, hard work, and yeah, I get all that, but he doesn't take a break sometimes too. And so I follow that lead. Like, I follow him, and I'm like, I don't need a break. He doesn't need a break. No, but I need to check in with myself and know myself, respect myself, that I need a break. And then to not feel guilty about it. I have had, I get guilt on taking time for myself, and that stems from other childhood things. So I think a lot of us are being brought back to some trauma that we have not healed, like I said. So just realize that whatever you're going through right now does not mean that you're not enlightened, does not mean that you're completely back to the beginning. You're just kind of having a rehash of some stuff that maybe you haven't fully solved, and the universe is forcing you right now to solve it so that you can move into this higher state of consciousness, so that when we go to this new year, you're starting fresh, you're starting new, because you've healed all of these things. So with that, know that the answers, like I said, are within you. Keep searching, keep digging, don't cover them up. I know that this is painful. Healing is painful. Healing is hard. It's not easy. With that, good luck to all of you who are out there healing. If you need any advice or any tips or anything, I'm always an open ear, and much love and light to all of you. Peace.